All right.
Hey,
Hey, everybody. I'm a redhead,
oh my God,
just like
because you know what
you.
we're talking about. Well, you can see
Today's
from the title.
exactly. Today's episode is Redheads Do It Best.
Do we?
Ah,
Thank you. I
I
can
mean,
I
do
can't
we?
wait to
Of
dive into this
course we
topic.
do.
I know. Well, I'm kind of living in it. I'm like embodied constantly, so it's hard to see an objective perspective. So I'm glad glad you're here to be like, that doesn't make sense. I'm sorry, that's not real people. That's a redhead thing. So
Oh
I'm
my God.
excited that I'll see the opposite maybe, and we'll get an idea of what's the difference. Now it is going to be a little biased though, because it's just the woman's perspective. So I hope it's
Yeah,
not
Whoa,
we
too
need.
biased.
Oh,
hang on, sister. You're not alone in this house.
Oh my
wow.
God. Wait a minute. Are we being Zoom bombed?
Zoom bomb, Global Gag is coming in.
Oh my God. No,
Hey,
it's David Shoup from Global Gag, the podcast. What are
What's
you
up,
doing?
buddies?
How
How are
are
you?
you?
what's up, David?
Doing okay. Doing okay. Yeah, Skyping in, Zoom bombing in from far away Romania. Not quite Transylvania, but we're close.
Romania.
We're close.
Well, I'm
Wow,
sure that
Romania.
are there a lot of redheads in Romania?
There are not, but
Hey,
you
okay.
see one or two. You see one or two walking around. It's not. It's yeah, not too much. Not too much. We stand out here for sure.
You get the stairs.
Yeah, we get the stairs. It's hard. And now it's winter time, so between the mask and the the big old like Russian. I don't even know what you call those hats that we wear here, but yeah, they
Oh,
can't tell.
yes.
Yeah,
I like
I'm well.
Okay.
those. I've always wanted to buy one of those hats, but I mean, I'm in Miami, Florida, so maybe I wanted to lose a few pounds or some water weight from the top of my head.
Wouldn't get much use. Yeah.
That's all it's
So
good for here.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you bombed us, because guess what we're talking about today? We need the male perspective here for male redheads.
Redheads do it best.
Do we?
Right
Yeah.
on.
What do you
Right.
think?
We
I
really
mean,
do. We really,
ever since I converted to redheadism, my
Oh,
life
okay.
has changed.
It's a new religion.
My life has changed. I am a new woman with a whole new perspective. Whole new perspective. Wild and crazy.
I mean, how has life changed now that you're
Well, I have embodied previous redheads before me that have followed the redheadism life, like Lucille
wow,
Ball,
that's a mouthful.
Reba McEntire, just to name a few. So
Yeah.
just wanted to throw that
Now,
out there.
the listeners can't see what you're doing, but so we probably should just say you are in like the most ridiculously red wig. I mean, the color is like Jessica
I
Rabbit
you know,
red, Ariel red.
I figured
very.
if I'm gonna go red, I'm gonna do it all the way. Just bombard that red color palette area. Go for it. I committed.
Right.
I committed.
You committed to this episode, and I respect that.
But enough about me. Let's hear from the real redheads. Why don't you guys give some actual redhead knowledge to the audience out here?
Whew.
Do you really want us to get into the science of it? Because I mean, it is the MC1R protein that gives us the pigment. The
Wow.
recessive trait.
We
We're
went
actually
there.
mutants. We're actually mutants, and I think Wikipedia was trying to not use that term, but we're mutants.
We're Neanderthals too.
Wait, tell me more.
What? What?
I
The Neanderthal
always thought so,
connection?
but I'm not well studied. Please inform me.
All right, I am no genealogist, or evolutionary biologist, but I'm pretty sure that all gingers are direct descendants of the Neanderthals. We're the missing link, actually, to Homo sapiens.
Are you
Real talk.
kidding?
Totally serious.
My brain has been blown right now.
I
Listeners,
didn't
feel free
know
to
that.
fact check us on this, but I think that's right. I think that's right.
Keep us honest, but I don't know how to feel about that. I knew we were I thought we were descendants from the Vikings, which I always sort of kind of secretly wore as a badge of honor. Like,
Yep.
don't mess with us. But
listen, Vikings, Neanderthals, it's all badass shit to me.
That's not a good rep, though. It's not really a good reputation.
I'll take either one.
We can transcend. Don't judge us by our history.
Yeah.
So RACHAEL has mentioned to me in the past that there are a lot of, how can I say it, like side effects to being a ginger, like face turns red when working out a little bit faster than most. What else, Rach? You've mentioned a couple of interesting, points to me in the past.
We bruise more easily.
Ooh, you see?
Well, I think females do. I don't know. Do male redheads bruise more easily?
I don't know. Maybe I've just been particularly safe in my. No, actually, I really haven't. No, I don't think I bruised. That could be like one of those, a weird gender divide there. I don't know.
Ooh, we need more anesthesia. I always tell if I'm going to surgery, I'm like, excuse me, I'm a redhead. Do you know this fact about us? I need more anesthesia. Please make sure my eyes aren't moving weird and I'm not screaming internally. Thank you.
Is it because you can't take as much, like your pain threshold is less than most? Is that why?
No, it's just to go under, right? We need less painkillers actually, but we need more anesthesia. We have a higher pain threshold.
Oh, wow.
There's that. Just kidding.
Interesting. I got a lot to look forward to now with this new life of mine.
You do.
Sunscreen. I think that's the real thing we got to talk about. Ooh. Is the necessary skin protection. Key.
Yeah,
welcome
I hate
to
it.
New life. Yeah.
I hate it. Part of me is like, isn't slathering this on my skin just going to make it worse? Like, isn't that going to be toxic too? I know the UVs aren't that great, but so are these I'll stay under the palm tree, but I want to be like, I don't like slathering that on. I'll just stay in the shade,
Yeah, absolutely. I'm right with you there.
I can imagine you guys have some, like one of those crazy sunburn stories from when you were a kid or a teenager, huh?
Oh,
RACHAEL, you first on that one.
You go first, Rach.
I've had some pretty bad sunburns. I mean, it's been really bad. And it's always like the first shower after the sunburn, where you itch after, and it's like, it's so bad. And it stings when you're in there. So yeah.
That's the worst.
So what's your worst sunburn story?
All right, my worst, it's very, very memorable. I was 13 years old. It was a 3rd degree sunburn. So that is that's the summa cum laude of sunburns, I think. And I hate this story because it's like there's too much like upper middle class privilege involved. But it was on a Caribbean, Royal Caribbean cruise ship with my mom and my mom's best friend, and then her kid. And so it was like this nice family trip, and I think it was day 1 of a 7-day trip. So there was so much to look forward to, but banana boat, 3 hours riding around, and within maybe 12 hours, it was like, imagine blisters, like smallpox, like water blisters across upper cheeks and nose. The ship doctor said, in the Caribbean, mind you, he had never seen a sunburn that bad. So that was rough. So I spent the rest of the time indoors.
How old were you?
I was 12 or 13, I think. Yeah.
Wow. How long did it take you to get back out there in the sun?
The entire rest of the cruise, I stayed on the boat and scared people. I was wearing, I think I just wore like a baseball cap low over my face. I remember there was a couple times at like the food buffet, something we don't even think of, God, that was years ago when we had buffets, but I would just like look up, and I remember making eye contact, with someone across the buffet, and they just quickly look away like, oh my God, this guy's got, I don't know, some sort of crazy disease or something,
He's mutating.
Seriously.
Wow.
Yeah.
I definitely get looks like that in the gym when I'm working out and I turn beet red.
Oh man.
It never goes away. Like it's never, like I never adjust. It's always
you've mentioned to me that it's like a process, right? It takes a while for it to kind of like go away.
Just like we're slow to anger, we're slow to cool.
Wow, that was good.
I like that. I like
Yeah.
that.
That's deep. Yeah, it's true.
That
Like
was
I think
deep.
there's also like this. I wrote this down because I couldn't remember. We have thicker strands of hair and less on our head, but there was something more important than that. Did you know we produce more adrenaline and access it more quickly? We get into
That
fight
does
or
not
flight.
surprise me. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
we're known
Wow.
to anger very quickly, and I have to say I definitely experience that. Like I have
Right.
a slower time of, what's it called, like a delay. There's no delay. I don't have time to pause. I feel it immediately. Yeah.
Definitely.
Is that your
Wow,
experience?
this is actually hitting home. I don't think I've had this deep a discussion with a fellow ginger about being a ginger ever. And I mean, we've only been talking for like 10 minutes, but this is, yeah, I don't know. I feel that gingers in general don't really connect so much about being gingers. Do you feel that same way, Rachel? Like, it's almost like you see another ginger and you're thinking like there can only be one, like just walk away, just walk away. Yeah.
Sometimes I don't want someone stealing my thunder. Like, please don't compete with me. You will lose.
I'm sorry, guys.
Right?
I'm sorry.
This is my territory, Leah. Take that off.
Listen, I
No,
will
but-
leave all of the ginger, thrown to you guys, because it sounds like from what you guys are telling me that it's hard work.
Well, I think also female gingers, and I don't know, do you prefer ginger or redhead? I mean, I prefer redhead, but
Same. Ever since the South Park episode, yeah. I assume we have to talk about the South Park episode, but we can save that one for later. That was when
Yeah,
it all went downhill. Yeah.
I mean, we don't have souls, but still, it's like, treat us like we do, please. Thank you. I don't like Carrot Top. Please don't
Oh, no.
ever say that.
I'm not even a redhead, like a real redhead, and I don't even like that one. Oh. That pisses me off for
Don't
some
ever
reason.
call me
It's
fire crotch.
offensive.
I mean, that should be common sense, right? Like, just don't say fire crotch. Like,
Not since high school. Come on.
right.
Oh wow, I've never heard that one, you guys. This is the most educational video we've had on our podcast.
I know. People should be taking notes if they're not already. Get your notebooks. No, but there's this idea also that female redheads are more amorous and promiscuous than other
Ooh.
females.
No wonder the second I switched over, I was feeling so wild and crazy.
I'm telling you. I mean, I think what is it? It's in our DNA, I guess, that the color red is like, what's the word? Like stimulating.
Yeah. On fire.
Right?
Stimulating.
Or arousing. Yeah. Stimulating. We're so sexy, us redheads.
Oh,
But what do
Lord.
you think? Is that true for ginger males as well? I mean, I'm not saying that's true for me. I'm not like outing myself here as very promiscuous. That's actually not true for me, but I could see more like fiery and amorous and passionate. Yeah.
Mhm.
I think that in defense, in the defense against the the more prudish conservative amongst us, I would say that it's simply a desperate evolutionary biological need to reproduce as much as possible, because the chances are we're not having redhead kids, right? It's only like a 25% chance at best, I think. So 8, 9, 10 kids, there's hope, but that's it.
There's hope. That's a
all we
good
got.
point. I
I
wonder
was just gonna say that. What a good point. I see.
if
telling you.
redheads hooked up, they're gonna have redheaded kids, right? I mean, it's the recessive gene. If we both have it, that's likely, right?
Yeah, it's more possible. I still think, and I need to check this. I'll actually, my girlfriend's a doctor. I'll ask her after this pod and get back to you guys. But I'm pretty sure it is 50% at best if both parents are redheads.
Oh wow.
Oh, really? So it's still not
Yeah.
guaranteed. I know it's
But
a
it really depends
homozygous
on
gene.
their parents. Really depends on their parents. So you need to
Oh.
have I think all 4 grandparents need to be redheads.
And when does
Wow.
that ever happen?
Like never, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, my parents,
So
neither of them have red
technically,
hair.
I have had an epiphany. Both of you are miracles.
We're
Definitely.
miracles.
Well, I think
Genetic.
Rachel is more of a miracle, because did you just say neither of your parents are redheads?
No,
What?
my mother's full-blooded Italian, so she's really dark, has like black hair, and my father is German and Dutch, but he has dark brown hair.
Wow.
My
okay.
grandmother was a redhead, but only
Okay.
one relative I know of had red hair. So it is kind of a miracle. Yeah.
Okay. I think
You
I
are
was
special, my
yeah,
friend.
my dad. Wow. Yeah. I mean, the German Dutch father for sure. Your mom must have, like, maybe she's got a great grandparent from like northern Italy or something, who had somewhere like near the
Potentially.
Alps. Yeah.
They talk about the redheaded Italian, like it exists,
Yeah.
like a Bigfoot or something.
Yeah, that's the thing. Exactly. Yeah, like Neanderthals that are still around, maybe in, like, I don't know, Svalbard or something.
In my
Yeah.
culture, like la chupacabra, it's like,
There you go.
Yeah, that's me.
that's you. You're the chupacabra, sucking the life
We
out
are-
of
We are
lambs.
wild. We are wild. And I was called to wear like what is this animal? Leopard
leopard print,
skin. Because I was like, we're a wild creature, redhead. And
Ooh.
Dave's in, you can't see this, but Dave's in his jungle. Is that a wall hanging? Or
It is. I actually attached it with rubber bands. Look
Woo!
at that. 'Cause,
oh wow.
Yeah, this is a rental. I need that deposit back. So gotta be
Was it
creative.
just for this episode?
No. I got it. So,
So, David, I want to know a little bit more about your podcast and how you ended up in Romania. Like, we want to hear all about that.
Oh, sure. Well, the podcast, actually, it's funny. I started. I did a couple episodes with my co-host Walter about 6 years ago. I was in Japan at the time, and he was in probably New York. Who knows? I'm guessing New York City, but yeah, we wanted to do something where we were sort of getting a global connection going, talking about a little bit of culture, a little bit of big movie guys, both of us, and just what's going on, ways that we can kind of connect with each other across the world, and maybe pull in some international guests as well. Really didn't end up going anywhere. I think it was just me being a really lazy editor, but we pulled it back together 6 years later. At the start of the pandemic. I've been in Romania for about 2 years, and yeah, we just got it going, and I think we're at episode 15 right now. So it's
Yay!
been chugging along.
That's awesome.
The pandemic brought us together. It was
That's
silver lining.
That's amazing, because I feel like the pandemic is kind of like what started our podcast too, and kind of reunited RACHAEL and I and a lot of those friends that went to school with us in New York City. So the pandemic, brought a lot of sadness and worry and unnecessary stress, but it did bring a lot of beautiful things afloat, right? So I'm happy to hear that. And just for our listeners, where can they check out your podcast?
Yeah, we're on. You can hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, Global Gag Pod, and just hit up Global Gag on YouTube. You'll find our episodes there. All audio so far, but as I said before, episode 16, it's gonna be video.
We will link it. And I have to say, as someone who's listened to nearly every episode, every second, every minute, I have to say it's a really unique perspective. I really enjoy listening. It's a chill, laid back, podcast. It's great, like, for winding down and listening in. Like, I'm so interested in everything you have to say, because you're such a history buff, and you really bring that to like current events as well as the movies. I love that. And then Walter's a licensed mental health practitioner, so he brings that perspective to like character in movie, and like and he knows a lot about film. I know just from knowing him, but
yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
think
that's how we met.
Health background's huge too. Oh, okay. You guys met through wait, NBC? No,
that's how you and I met. We met, Dave and I met through Walter, our mutual friend, who's his podcast co-host, Walter Koschel. So shout out to Walter if you're listening. If you're not,
Walter!
You're a terrible friend.
Right? Come on, terrible friend.
So tell us, I'm curious to know a little bit about Romania. So I worked on a cruise ship for a little bit, and my Romanian story, I guess we can say, is that I had a friend who worked as a bartender on the ship, and I will never forget her, because she would always tell me, I was like it's like starstruck with her, because she would say, "Oh, when she introduced herself to me, I'm from Romania, blah blah blah," and we kicked it off and we became friends. And she would tell me that she could see from her home Dracula's castle. So I just thought
Whoa.
that was so cool. I'm like, I can't even believe like what her backyard looks like. It must be amazing.
It's a beautiful country. It's a beautiful country. It's actually hilarious. My girlfriend's dad also worked on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
That is a theme I've noticed with Romanians. A lot of
Mhm.
Romanians you run into, they're like, yeah, oh yeah, man, yeah, I was in Mexico, I was in New Orleans, you know, on our
Yeah.
Caribbean. Yeah, it's a funny connection. Romanians are, I think, compared to the region that we're in. So we're the easternmost edge of the EU and NATO. Like past us, it's all Russians. It's all Russians and the old Soviets. So I think compared to the region, Romanians are kind of considered like the most international people around
Mhm.
here. They're a Latin people rather than Slavic. So they're much more connected with the Italians, the Spanish. I think of like, I try to tell people the Romanian language is basically like Italian with a Turkish accent, kind of, and like a sprinkling of Russian phrases. You know,
That's so
it's an
cool.
interesting place, a blend of many cultures, you could say. But that's pretty Bran Castle, where Dracula was, pretty sweet spot. A lot of bears and wolves out there, though. So
Woo.
spooky. So
What
your friend was a badass.
what
Ooh.
took you to Romania?
Long story short, it was a girl, love at first sight. She ended up dragging me out here. We met in Germany about 3.5 years ago. We were both there I was doing a graduate degree, and she was doing like a medical school study abroad in Europe kind of program for the year. And yeah, fell in love. And at the end of the summer, she was like, all right, we're going back to Romania. And it's like, all right. So I went to my professor, who was American, but at this German school. I was like, hey, man, so yeah, I met this Romanian girl. She wants me to go back to Romania. I still have a year left on this master's. And he said, well, I only ended up in Germany because my German girlfriend brought me back here. So I'd be a hypocrite to say no. And he let me transfer all my credits over to Bucharest, and ended up all working out. So been here ever since.
That's amazing.
Awesome.
And where's your family? Is your family back home at the States? Like, where are you from, or where did you grow up here in the
I'm
States?
originally from Concord, Massachusetts, just outside of Boston, and my folks are all still there. My little sister, unfortunately, is also still there because school's canceled. So she
I
was
know.
hoping to do her junior year of college right now, and it's all on Zoom. So she's
Oh,
having a rough time, but I'm glad she's
wow.
there, you know, with my folks and stuff. I think it means a lot to them to you know,
To go
it's an
through all of
unexpected
this.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, at least
Exactly.
they're going through all of this together. So that's the plus or the positive spin on it, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And
So.
and how are things over in your neck of the woods with COVID and everything that's going on in the world right now?
Well, like Rachel, I got COVID as well. And
Same here.
oh, you got
Mhm.
it too? Damn. All right.
Mhm.
Yeah. So all of us. It didn't hit me until actually I got it on Christmas Eve.
Woo!
Because yeah, I got dragged along to a Romanian Christmas family gathering, and yeah, that was a tough one. There was 10 of us, and there was the guy I was sitting directly across the table with. He was patient zero. So that was game over. But yeah, it wasn't, you know, it was like maybe a week or two. Not great, not terrible. That's what I
Yeah.
was telling my parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of went through the same. I think now I'm like week 3 after having, you know, the initial symptom, and I just feel
Oh,
like
okay.
very laggish and tired at times. But other than that, it was same as you know?
Yeah, it's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. In terms of overall, I mean, things are like I want to say they're generally better than the U.S., but it's up and down. The government here, for you know, I appreciate having the free healthcare. That's all great.
Hmm.
You know, being in a democratic socialist country is nice. The democracy part's a little iffy. You know, we're pretty close to Russia in a lot of ways. So one of those ways is massive corruption. So there's
Hmm.
not really a lot of trust in the government here in terms of like what are the COVID numbers. They've been good in terms of having a mask mandate, mostly having a lockdown. Then again, bars and restaurants are now back open, not necessarily because of a drop in numbers, just because everyone's tired of COVID, and you know that's just.
Are you sure you're in Romania or Miami, Florida?
There we go. Exactly. See, we're
Just
not so
saying.
different. We're not so different. We're one big world. We're one big world.
Well, all we can do at this point is do our part, right? Wear our mask,
Yep.
be careful, and while you're protecting yourself, you're protecting others. So hey, that's all we can do.
Absolutely. Yeah,
But I'm glad
that
to hear
really
you're
is all we
better.
can do. And
Mhm.
just looking out for one another, trying to stop the spread of misinformation. That's always a big one too.
Yeah.
So listen to our
absolutely.
podcast, skip the Fox News.
Forget the news, guys. Just come on over and listen to us. We got you covered. I think we actually lost David there for a minute.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so. David, can you hear us?
I
Yeah,
think he's frozen, but
I think we lost him. But regardless, I'm so happy to hear that David's doing well and that he's on the mend, and and things are going well in reference to COVID. But guess what, Rach? Regardless, we are gonna have to, call it an episode because we're right on
Yeah.
that time.
wow.
But I do want to say thank you so much to David for joining us. We had those technical difficulties there at the end, but thank you so much for joining us, David. It has been such a pleasure spending some time with you and learning about the redhead world because,
Yeah, nice to get
living-
to know another redhead.
I'm living my
Normalize
best
it.
life. I'm living my best life right now as a redhead.
What's your new religion? What's your new religion's name?
Redheadism.
Redheadism.
Redheadism. Oh wait, David's back. So let's bring him on in so he could properly give us a goodbye and
All right.
and then we'll wrap it up.
Totally.
Wait, I think he's coming. Where you at, David? Where you at?
It's those internets. You know how they do.
Listen, technology at its best right now. Well, there you are, my friend. It's okay. Listen.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, please. We were just talking about how technology, at its best, how can we have a proper episode without technological mishaps? So,
Yeah.
but David, we were wrapping it up regardless. So, I wanted to, just personally say thank you so much for joining us because I've had a blast, talking to my two new fave redheads, and and joining the redheadism group.
Yeah.
Has been, I was telling Rachel I'm living my best life, at the moment. So thank you to both of you.
Absolutely. Just remember, wear a hat, lots of sunscreen.
I got it. Well,
Yeah,
the
and there's
sunscreen
no
part I already
shame.
got down packed because Miami,
Yeah. And there's no shame in the flame. We should wear our red hairs proud. And
oh my God, I
too
love
much
it.
spicy, right? Not eat too much spicy. We got enough fire. So
There you go.
even though Frank's Red Hot sauce, I'm a little addicted. It is not a good thing for a redhead.
Ooh, no way.
Spicy.
Sriracha all the way.
You're a sriracha guy? All right.
Oh,
I do like sriracha too, but
I like Tabasco. Classic girl. Yeah, I'm a classic gal. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up. I mean, I once again, we need to bring the redhead, maybe a redhead episode part 2 in the future. I would love that. Or maybe a brunette episode. Although I can't share anything with you guys about that, so scratch that.
You guys gotta come on Global Gag sometime.
What was that?
Guys, gotta have you guys on Global Gag sometime.
Yes, we would love to.
That would be
totally
fun.
be a blast. We would love to. So maybe next time Walter can join us and we'll have some fun on here as well.
Perfect. Love the collab. Guys, it's been a pleasure. Thanks so much for having me on. It's great to talk to you.
Thank you, David. I appreciate it.
So much fun. Thanks for being so much fun. And people check out Global Gag, and
yes,
we'll link it in the description. And we'll see you in the next one.
All right. Bye, everybody.
All right. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye, Dave.
Bye-bye.